Sleeping Bear Dunes is a special place because of the glacial features that are here. They're very dramatic sand dune systems. Many natural features like rivers and streams. Research in national parks is important to us because these lands are the people's lands, and we look at the park as kind of the nation's laboratory. And it's important to us as resource managers to understand our resources better so that we can better protect them. So Dr. DeWalt's research is important because often invertebrate species are kind of left out of the picture. We learn a lot about birds and mammals, but it's also important to understand those parts of the food web because we're really looking to manage ecosystems as a whole, and we want to see healthy ecosystems and native species thrive and diversity expand.
This is the Crystal River at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. And I study aquatic insects. The ones I'm interested in are stoneflies, mayflies, and caddisflies. These are 3 orders of insects that the national parks are interested in because they're indicators of water quality. And they also indicate how well the habitat's doing. By the way, this has great insects in it. And I'm interested in knowing whether or not parks protect aquatic insects at a greater rate than, say, the surrounding area. We'd hope so. That's one of the objectives of national parks. And so what I'm looking for when I come here is habitat that's intact. So I want to go to streams that have lots of natural wood in the bottom, lots of cobble, that flow pretty fast, that are clear and clean. And the national park helps provide those sorts of streams because they protect them. In lots of places where I've worked, I've had volunteers helping me. The Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore set up this volunteer network who would set my traps out at night and at night go back out and find them and bring them back to me, and then set up a day where we'd have volunteers come in and help sort that material. The benefit for a volunteer helping scientists conduct science is, one, they get to learn about this great natural laboratory that we have. Most people would not have any idea what occurs below the level of the water. They also will learn what it takes to conduct science that's useful.
Okay.
They might also decide that they like it. And I've had volunteers decide to change their majors because of some of the work they've done for me. It gives them some guidance on what they might want to do with their lives. Doing something that's really useful to scientists and the society in general.
When I went to volunteer, I'm thinking, maybe a nice office gig, not really going outside. But when they said insects, I was like, really? Insects? And this was night collection. It wasn't daytime collection. So you have to go out at night in the middle of the forest and collect insects. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? But I think that was a turning point in my life, I think. Because being here and doing a citizen science program actually opened up my eyes to other ways that I can help out. And I really liked the environment after that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go into environmental science. I think this is really what I want to do.
The Great Lakes Research and Education Center facilitate research and better monitoring in the Park Service because the national parks are important for enjoyment of the public, and we have to manage them in order to protect the resource. And one of the ways you protect the resource is to have better research done on that resource. Then that research can be conveyed to the public through citizen science.
Is this the only color it comes in? Or?
The public actually gains a lot of knowledge from working with the researcher directly. We combine all the various research components.
And you can recognize these because these are actually
What the tools are of the research, how it applies to management, and how to further better science to try to do a better job of managing our park resources.